Hello, Ruth. Hello. And I will wait till quarter past one to see if I will still have other uh, participants before I start. Even if I have just a student, once it is quarter past one, I will commence my class. Thank you. Just remain in the class, please. And good afternoon. This is social institution and social standard. It will be anchored by Dr. Ali, as you can see on the screen. As you can see on the screen, this is the course outline. The course will examine social institution and social standard, how the society is governed or functioned by social institution and social standard, expectation of people, individual based on such institutions. Learning objectives. By the end of this session, the student should be able to construct the topology of social institution and its constituents features, explain the standard systemic relationship between constituent units in social institution, and discuss the social standard function of the various constituents of social institution. Module 1. Sorry, I must sincerely apologize that my other lecture, Module 2, was interrupted by technical hitches, which I do believe that we will ameliorate it in this session. This Module 1 will cover constituents of social institutions such as economy, population, media, and healthcare. I started with media the other time, which we didn't do much because of technical hitch. Uh, let's see what we have on this slide. Economy. Economy, it is an essential social institution that plays a crucial role in the functioning of any society. It is a system by which goods and services are produced, distributed, and consumed within a society. The economy is an integral part of every society and has a significant impact on the social, political, and cultural aspect of people. Nigerian as an economy hold the duty to produce, distribute goods and services to her citizens. Any economy that cannot produce goods, that her citizens cannot consume her goods, is not strong enough to be called a nation or an economy. If your economy is so dependent totally or holistically on another economy, then your economy is said to be a dependent economy. Nigeria, as an independent nation, ought to have produced some certain level of goods and services or commodity distributed, and the goods should be in a condition, a safety and healthy in condition to be consumed by her citizens. The second point says economy is an integral part of every society and has a significant impact on social, political, and cultural aspects of life of the people. Yes, that's true. The economy can change our perspective. Prior to this administration, the previous administration told Nigerians that Nigerians should be self-reliance in domestic production, like primary production of agricultural produce. So Nigerian economy was aggravated by funds from the previous administration encouraging local production. That Nigeria should be a nation that feeds herself, since Nigeria has a large history of land. Nigeria should feed herself. But every dispensation or administration have a motive for a policy to be in place. Maybe that was what the other administration felt will take Nigeria out of these issues we are. But this dispensation encourage at least certain level of importation to augment local production. So Nigeria as a nation have a level of production and can distribute for people to consume. That is economy. Function of economy. Hello. All of them. Okay.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me from the other end?
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay. Function of economic to the society. One, Nigeria as a nation provides for basic needs. The most fundamental function of economy is to provide for basic needs of individual. This includes access to food, shelter, clothing, and other essential goods and services. The economy should be that food should be affordable, food should not be expensive, access to clothing and other essential commodity like electricity, communication, and other basic hospitals, basic amenities. That's what is the function of economy. That is one of its basic function. Two, job creation. The economy is a major source of employment for individual in a society. Yes, most often we see people go to apply for job. Is it road safety? You want to work as a paramilitary? You economy make an enabling environment for everybody to apply. Civil servant at state and at federal level, even at local government level, they provide employment. The economy make an enabling environment for private investors to come and invest, private partnership, people come invest, business people, they employ the services of level. So it creates job employment. It creates job through production and distribution of goods and services, as well as through establishment of businesses and industries, just as I was saying, an enabling environment for people to do business, industries. And if business grow, it creates room for employment. If you have industries, people go to apply and seek for job. So the economy has done so well in terms of uh, making the environment enable for people to seek for job. So year in, year out, day in, day out, people are seeking for employment. Some people don't are not employed, some are employed, some even change one job to the other. That is another function of the economy. One, to get basic needs. Two, job creation. The third is generating income. Generating income is a major source. Okay, the economy is a major source of income for individual businesses and government through production and distribution of goods and services. If you and produce and distribute, let's say you are a producer. Let me give typical example of a farmer who produces and wants to go and sell. If you go to any of these markets, you have a levy that you pay. That is the way government gets uh, her revenue. If government government gets taxes from from employee, like Nigeria, her major source of income, they generate her income from oil revenues. That's what Nigeria use as 70% of her income. It comes from oil revenues. By the time you produce and you distribute, you get a revenue. Nigeria gets taxes from oil company. Nigerian get revenue from mining. That's where Nigerian gets her income, and this income will be used to service the public in paying of salaries, in construction road, and giving so many basic amenity as the needs be. So let me just see what I have on my slide, that The economy is a major source of income for individuals, businesses, and government through production and distribution of goods and services. Individuals earn wages and salaries. For people who are working in the government sector, where government generates high revenues, government pays individuals salaries and wages that are working. Government employees, government pays them salaries. Business earn profits. For people who do business, private investors, they make profits and government collect taxes from these people. That's where government generates her revenue. For people who do business, they make profits, government gets taxes from them in terms of they pay tax to government as in form of revenue on income. That's why we have what is called income tax or business tax. Even yeah, as an employee of government, government tax your salary based on your income you get. It is all this that government use in developing the country and makes it enabling for business to strive. By the time you don't have light, by the time you don't have some basic amenity, you can now say this government is not doing well. The government are inefficient in the way they are running their own affairs. Another point is promoting economic growth and development. Yes, with all the indices of job employment, creating basic amenity, government needs to bring about economic growth and development. And no economy grows without having this enabling environment for business to strive, for industry to grow. And as you localize industries, and companies that brings about job creation, that bring about employment. And as people get employment, it betters their life, their standard of living, and government makes more uh, revenue that government will use in developing our country, and that is the sign of growth and development. As all these points are relatively intertwined, that it enables government creates jobs, it brings about development, it increases the standard of living of individual who gets employment because they earn wages or salary to sustain their life. So business people they make profits and their business will grow and they too it will increase their standard of living and it will bring about self-development, the society and the country at large. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, sir.
Any question before I move to the next? Any question?
From me, no, sir.
None from
Okay,
my end, sir.
okay. None from your end. That's fine.
No question from here, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. And this is another slide. I am done with the function of economy in general. Let's see how economy, the way it affects the rural people based on our own course that we are taking, the ways in which economy has effects to the rural people. The economy plays a significant role in shaping social standards as it directly impacts the living condition and well-being of its citizens. A stable and thriving economy can lead to an improvement in social standard, while a thriving economy can have a detrimental effect. Let's say a stable economy that have at least a moderate, not say a full employment. Do you people who are employed and collect good salary, it affects their well-being because they have good salary, their salary you can take it to market and get what you want. It can pay your children's school fees. People who are doing well can get maybe a sizable bike or a moderate vehicle. At least their standard of living is just okay. So it affects your social standard, the way you interact with people in the society. But a thriving economy where you struggle to eat, you don't think of living a just for you to get what you eat, basic amenity, that is what you think of. But for a stable economy, after that you have other things that you need to attend to. Your secondary thoughts will still come into play. But for a thriving economy, that is not in place at all, at all. So how the that's how economy shape the life of people or affect people. In some economy, let's say if you give example of some parts of Russia and Ukraine, life is not, environment is no longer enabled for people to stay and do business. Uh, like last 2 years, Nigerians, so many of them were deported back to, uh, were evacuated back to Nigeria because of the war or crisis in Ukraine and Russia. So it is the duty of an economist to make the environment enabling. So that economy cannot be a stable economy where people will go to invest to a point that Russia had had series of ban from different uh, international economy, but they did not, gave deaf ears to that because they have a mission they want to accomplish. So an economy do her best to see the make environment enabling for people, foreign investors will come, change the life of people, change your narrative from your primitive idea to what is happening globally. So another way, this is the way it affects people. Another way, income inequality. One of the way. Sorry. Sorry, let me take the other slide. Okay, stock of well-being. This one is telling of a stable and a struggling economy. Another one here, that economy has a major influence on income inequality, which refers to an unequal distribution of wealth among the population. Definitely, in every economy, our income cannot be the same. Our income cannot be the same depending on your level. Even though if all of us get government employment, it depends on the term of agreement of your employment with company, with NGOs, with private investments, and to government. People will have different cadre of employment and different cadre and different salary. So business people depend on how you invest and your financial base, your business base and financial base. You can't expect somebody whose total capital invested is 500,000, somebody whose capital of investment is like 3-4 million naira. All things being equal, the person who has 5 or 3 million should earn more than he who is doing business with just 300,000, all things being equal. If the reverse is the case, it there means something has gone wrong. Nigeria, the majority of the population lives in poverty, while a small percentage of the population enjoys a high standard of living. That's maybe if you get the reference of this document by the time I give you, you will now see that more than half of Nigeria are not living to what is called high standard. We may have moderate standard, but what we have here is the category they've categorized them into two: poor and high standard. So if you are not here, you can be at the other side. So they are based on the World Bank standard that if your daily earning is not up to $2, $1.91, then you should be considered as a poor person. If your daily earning, that is after you might have taken your feed morning, afternoon, or evening, as the case may be, and you can have the earning of $2. And $2 now is close to 4,000 naira. So if you will eat in the morning, afternoon, evening, and save 4,000 naira every day, so it there means that every day if you can earn 10,000 naira, then you are not a poor person. That in a day, every day you earn 10,000 naira. After all and all, then you are not a poor person if you have a saving of $2 every day, which by that statistics, most Nigerians fell at below the poverty line. So income inequality, there is no way our income can be maintained. So it affects our lives. Two, access to basic necessity. A strong economy provides its citizens with access to basic amenities such as food, water, education, and shelter. Yes, healthcare, and so that economy has effects to her citizens. They benefit from good pipe-borne water. They will benefit from good healthcare center. They will benefit from uh, educational facilities and maybe free education, or as the case may be, a reduced tuition-based education. Shelter. Some economy have housing system, shelter, housing that most people get at a less cheap uh, amount. Most especially the federal government is doing that. They have housing scheme where you can be saving money. In the long run, you apply and get that. Benue State government did that some times ago. We have Apeakwe Estate, where Apeakwe Estate was built and people access that facility by maybe getting a form you fill, indicate your interest, and a house will be allocated to you. If you want to pay cash, you pay cash. If it will be deducted from your salary, it will be deducted from your salary. These are for government employees, but for an individual that they don't have their information and you have your money, you pay cash. And I may not give you detail of how people access that house, but that is what I know because I had an interaction with somebody who lived there and who said he paid part of the money for a start and the other ones subsequently was deducted from his salary. So, however, in Nigeria, the struggling economy has resulted in a lack of access to basic necessity for large part of the population, leading to decline in social standard. Yes, for an economy who cannot provide such for her citizenry can lead to decline in cohesion amongst persons, and this bring about a drop in social standards. Yes, the state of economy also affects the employment opportunity available for Nigerians. A strong economy creates more jobs, improving the livelihood of its citizens and leading to an increase in social standards. So this thing is just like just its function and the other way around. But this is the practical example of how a strong economy is. So economy that is stable should provide employment for her citizens, create more jobs. In fact, even the one they have, they should improve on that job, the working condition, the life as it improves the livelihood and leading to increased social standard either in the mosques, places of worship, in our courts, a place of because our judiciary institution is another institution. It cuts across all ramifications, the family, our religion, and what was the other one, and even in our political practices. I know my senior colleague have dealt with that, and I believe he has done justice and tranquility in handling that based on the material I saw online that he has submitted. So, on the North Shale, he has taken institution to a great extent. Yes, however, a weak economic results in fewer job opportunities and high unemployment rates, which hinders people's ability to improve their social status. So many persons have gone to school, so many persons have learned trades, have so many skills, but because there is no an enabling environment for them to strive, for them to put this into use. Some persons are even graduates roaming on the streets because most of them are waiting for government employment. But for some of us who have deemed it fit that staying without doing anything is not good, we have engaged ourselves in one or two petty jobs to see we make life from it and make our life meaningful instead of waiting for government employment. An economy does not mean you will be fit in all government offices. That's why we talk of business, we talk of private investment, we talk of companies. Wherever you find yourself, some persons are self-employed, some people work from home. If the economy is good, you get some crafty people who are craftsmen, work from their shop or they are at home. Some work online. So the economy will provide that for you. But if you don't have such opportunity, then it seems to is a call for concern. It's a call for concern. So okay, education. Education, yes, education. For every economy who has all it takes should provide education for her citizens at least to a level of secondary school. Most often in Nigeria, it stops at class 6 primary school, where most of the government school is for free, but private from nursery one you start paying. But at least the system has made it in such a way that you can go to school. You can go to school if you have your resources available. The economy has given you employment, or you have had an enabling environment to do your business. You get paid for that, or you get profit from your business. You use it in developing yourself or your children, as the case may be. The economic, let me read from the slide. The economic also play a vital role in the education sector in Nigeria. A strong economy can contribute to development of quality education system. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Providing access to education for all citizens, regardless of their social economic status. If you are a child, if you are a parent, if you are rich, if you are poor, regardless of your socioeconomic status. On the other hand, a struggling economy can lead to a lack of investment in education system, resulting in a decline in the quality of education and hindering social advancement. Like what is happening in Nigeria that most often than not, ASU will go on strike, take care of revitalization, poor remuneration, uh, ASU welfare and allowance is because something is really missing between the system or the government and ASU as a union. As an employee, ASU uh, feel that their salary should be their salary should be increased to better their working condition. The the environment where they teach they should have good environment for them to deliver good lectures. They should have good lecture theater that can take capacity of students. Students should not be hanging on the window. Students should have light in their hostels. So many points from ASU before the government, and maybe government may just attend to one or two pressing problem, leaving the others, allowing this issue lingered for long time. So recently, ASU embarked on strike, but to God be the glory, the strike have been called upon yesterday. So this point that I'm trying to explain, economy should make an investment in education from all her revenues she's generating from other sectors to make sure that educational system is strong, results is strong, so that all her citizens benefit from the good education system they have. On the other hand, it will lead to a decline in quality of education and hinder social advancement in the population if the education is not being handled as the case be. Health. This is another social amenity, health. It can be another social institution, but we are not dealing with health in this uh, course, but as a way that it affects the citizen or the society in general. The economy has a direct impact on the healthcare center. A strong economy can lead to a health can lead to better healthcare infrastructure, increase access to medical facility, and improve health outcome for the population. Yes, for every economy, health care facility for every strong economy should have a better care infrastructure, increase access to medical facility, and improve health outcome. Let's take the example of Benue Teaching Hospital. Yes, with the recent uh, developments, with all signals that I've seen, so many things have been done in Benue State University Teaching Hospital. And there is a tremendous improvement in the way they attend to people. But in as much as there is an improvement, it is government hospital. If you go to the hospital, somebody will tell you he's there for more than 2 hours. Doctor have not seen him or seen her. In the hospital, they have the way they do their things. You must have to follow through the rigorous. We'll be going to go through the the cashier, pay this, do this before they take you to ward. Like that, somebody will tell you, since morning I've been here, have not seen doctor. This, that. But you just have to follow through the rigorous. But after that, if you are taken to the ward, at least you have people who will come and check, look, the people who will come to the ward and look after you. Nurses are there, the doctors are there to look after sick ones, and um, the facility they have now with the person handling the hospital, at least they have good hands, and at least they are moderate. I may not say they are enough, because most often than not, uh, lack human capacity in that aspect, but there is an improvement to what we had previously. That is what I am trying to say. Not that they have what it takes to be a standard teaching hospital, but at least there is an improvement from what they have now compared to what they had previously. Yes. While I was reading the synopsis, I said we'll look at topology of social standard, institution, and constituent features. Hello.
Hi.
We can
Okay. Oh, that's fine. Your response showed we are together. Grace,
Yes,
Grace,
sir.
just unmute your mic.
Okay, I just did that.
Okay, thank you. So we'll look at topology of social standard, institution, and its constituent features. A social standard institution can be defined as a set. Let me pose this question to you. Any person who is moved by the faith should just define what is social, what is institution, not necessarily social standard, institution as the case may be. Yes, at the other end, any person who is moved by faith should just define what is institution. Then I will now read what I have on my slide, then we will now relate it to social institution. Yes,
Hello, sir.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. Institution, to my understanding, is that recognized authority. It may not necessarily be a it may not necessarily be structured like we have infrastructure. Okay, let me go this way. Institution is that recognized authority that is structured into a line with guidelines, model operandi, way of operation, and that direct activities on how their direct activities on how goods and services are being delivered.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you have the idea of it. Something is just missing. I will give you my own definition of institution that me too I know. Then we'll now take what the social standards have for us. Is that not? It's not on your slide.
Yes.
It's not on your slide. Uh, I understand that institution is a relatively set of values, just as he is saying that they provide guidelines, relatively set of values, positions, and roles that provide behavior in a particular social setting. Let me just give an example. Uh, family is an institution, is that not? So somebody who said in our family we don't do this. That is where that person, the other speaker, Japheth, is saying guidelines. It is the elderly people who tell you what to do. And even that in part of our culture, why is this? Sometimes you don't even question it. It's because that is how they have set that rules. That's why I said it's a relatively set of values, positions, and rules that provide behaviors in a particular social setting. Like institution, like education as an institution. Sometimes somebody speaks. People will say this person speaks like a barrister. It's because he has received that training of being in that field. Somebody writes, they say medical doctors don't have good handwriting. Some persons. That is not true. Because I've seen many who had good handwriting. That is how they are trained to write. And so it is that recognized body or structure that my friend said. So that authority that provides behavior or guidelines, as he said, in a particular social setting, as to production, distribution, and consumption, as the way you want to use it. That is what institution. But this is what I have on my slide. A social standards institution. I was generalizing institution, but what I have on my slide is what social standard institution can be defined as a set of norms. I said the rules here is norm, value and guidelines. Yes, my friend said that govern the behavior and interaction of individual and group in society. So you can see all we have said is not different from what I have on my slide. That social stand and institution is just what guidelines or positions or rule that provides behavior for individuals. Our value is there, our norms is there. This institution play a crucial role in shaping the behavior and relationship of individuals and ensuring social order and harmony. Yes, this institution, somebody sees his fellow barrister, they call themselves learned colleague. Is that not? You identify with a medical doctor, they may know how they call themselves and other professions. So in military, they know how to do that. And so some of us who are civilian, we accord ourselves respect based on how we see ourselves. So that is what institution is. The following is a topology of social institutions and their key constituents. Let's just see how the topology looks like. Sorry, topology, from the word topology, we may think we have a graph or a table. Yes, how one link the other like that, but that is on nutshell. But just what all the institution that concerns us in this course have itemized them. The first one is what? Legal institution. The judiciary are another institution, but it's called legal institution. Legal institution are a type of social standard institution that is primarily concerned with creating and enforcing laws to regulate individual and group behavior. These institutions are established by government and have the legal authority to enforce rules and punish individual who violate them. Hello?
We can hear
Hi,
you, sir.
Hi, sir.
Okay. Sometimes unconsciously I say it, and at least I like your response. It's believed some persons are at the other end listening to my lectures. Yes. all of us know legal institutions that they enforce law to regulate individual and group behavior. That they used to have this normal norms, be adage that no ignorance to of the law. Yes, because if you violate the law, definitely there must be punishment for that. So every citizen behave his or herself to see you don't go contrary for the rules and regulation established by government of Nigeria. So that's the first topology. The second one is just like type of a type of institution. The second one is religious institution, which my senior colleague have dealt seriously in depth to that. But let's see what it is as social institution. I believe he has done very well on that, so I will not say much here. Another type of social standard institution, which are concerned with promoting moral and ethical standard through religious teaching and practices. This institution includes churches, yes, mosques, temples, and synagogues, and play a significant role in shaping individuals' values and beliefs. The key features of religious institutions include a set of beliefs, rituals, and practices, as well as religious leaders who guide and teach the followers. Please, at the other end, who will tell me one of the rituals Christians do or they do in the church? Any of the denomination you attend, please. And if you have Muslim too, please tell us one of your rituals, your religious rituals. Please, before I move on. If not, I will want to explain rituals. Yes?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Christian of the Catholic faith.
Yes. Yes, I know
So
you have rituals. Tell us one.
one of the rituals is the consecration of the host. At the beginning of it, the bread and wine translating into the body and blood of Christ. So the ritual of uh, consecrating or invoking the Spirit.
Okay, one, rituals of concentrating in invoking spirit.
Yes.
Yes, that's one. I know you have this thing that you call rosary.
Yes.
Yes, it's
We
one
have
of your rituals. You
rosary
recite it.
Yes.
You have so many rituals as a Catholic.
Yes.
Any Muslim, if you don't have, I will provide one from your own end. Do you have a Muslim in your class? Hello?
Yes,
We
sir.
do, but it's not
It,
connected at the
it's
moment.
not okay. I will just say one.
Okay.
Even the Christians know this. For once it is time for Salat, the Azam, the person who calls for prayers or Salat, we go and call for prayer. We do that every day. And before a Muslim steps into the mosque, his shoe or slippers must be removed. His footwear, let me just say footwear. Is that not? So that is one of our rituals. They have their own rosary too, but they call it Chelbi. That's the Arabic name, and it is adopted in Hausa, and that's what we call it. They have their own too, and they have so many other rituals. And before you step into the mosque for Salat, they perform ablution. So all these are rituals. I believe we don't have any traditionalists that will give us one or two rituals from their own faith. If we do have, so the person will just tell us one in the in 30 seconds, please. Our silence shows we don't have any ritualists. We don't have any traditionalists. Sorry. So the third point, this is another social institution. Educational institution is another social institution. that has the responsibility for transmitting cultural value, knowledge, yes, and skills to future generation. Yes, education, very, very important. Even with all our religious, world rituals, all the religious preach to us to seek for knowledge, either formally or informally. You can seek for knowledge. Skills. In fact, knowing your religion is a knowledge because you cannot be at home and even know it. Somebody have to teach you. They preach to you every day in church, in the mosque, or in your shrine. So you'd have to learn it. So that is what educational institution. Just that the educational institution is a more organized way of you learning theology. Is it Christian theology or the Islamic theology? Is a more organized way of learning than what we had yesteryears. This institution includes schools, colleges, and universities, and play a fundamental role in shaping individuals' behavior and attitude. The key features of educational institutions include a curriculum, teacher or instructor, and a learning environment, as the case may be. So, in the military, they call them instructors, or in paramilitary. That's why they have their Nigerian Defense Academy. You go there, you learn. They train you for people who come for short service, people who go to NDA and normal regular intake, these people secondary who come out as other run. So they have instructor that normally train them. So education you get it from so many facets of life. Those days that we don't have this formal education, other people learn from home like that until the educational sector develop and increase to what we have now. Prior to now, long time ago, if you, somebody sees a graduate in a community, that would be the only person in that community. But now we have every compound, every street, you have my rate of ample number of graduates. So it's as the result of the importance of knowledge has been preached and is in our bloodstream that everybody wants to be educated. Let's see the another institution that we have. We have this is another cultural institution. Okay, it's another type of institution. Cultural institution, the fourth one, a type of social standard institution that is concerned with preserving and promoting culture and tradition. This institution includes museums, library, art galleries, and cultural centers. A primary function of cultural institution is to educate individuals about their heritage and promote cultural diversity. The key features of cultural institutions include artifacts, exhibition, and cultural events. For some of us who know Makodi very well, please can you name one cultural institution you know in Makodi or in Benue State? And from some of you who are not in Benue, you can name the one from your own state. Hello?
Hi.
Yes? Just think from what you have on the slide and think of people who render such service and tell us from where you are.
Okay. In Benue,
Yeah.
and Makodi, in Benue, we have the Benue State Art and Culture, um, Art and Culture.
Okay,
Who,
well, that is the agency that
Yes.
render um, that
Cultural
services
sector.
of cultural institutions. And if
Yes.
you go, the people who are inhabitants of Benin or the indigenous of Benin, if you go, you have vital information about the people of Benin and Benue State art and culture. I have, they even have one theater called Aminu Isa Kontagora
Yes.
Art and Culture
Art and
Center.
culture.
So if events like any cultural event is taking place, I believe maybe most likely they do it there. If that not,
It's like that, sir.
okay. So that cultural institution, I believe some things one don't even know about his culture, or some of those things. If you go to the museum, maybe your parent might have told you, or somebody might read it in the book about the Benue State people. If you go, they educate you more and better if you can find them in the museum and you ask what is the function of this in the museum. They'll tell you the reason why this thing is here, this thing is gotten from this village or this community or that. And sometimes in the libraries, you can find them if they have what is called art galleries. Why I made mention of cultural center, I mean it's our contemporary art and culture because I saw cultural center on the slide. And I believe in other states too, they should have an agency that masterminds such cultural uh, cultural activity or act as a cultural institution in their own state. I may not say the way they have their own nomenclature. In Benue State, it's called Benue State Art and Culture. In another state, it might have another nomenclature from this, but might have been rendering the same or similar services. So the primary function of cultural institution is to educate individuals about their heritage and promote cultural diversity. The key features of cultural institution include artifact exhibition and cultural events. So that is that. Let's see another institution. We might not exhaust all the institution. Here is economic as institution. I will have dealt with it seriously. Anything I may be saying here can be just repetition, but it has a mandate of this as an economy. These are concerned with production, distribution, consumption of goods and services. That's all in the society. Economy should give us an enabling environment to produce food, to sell them, and to have what to eat, to provide job for us. That is what it. They include businesses, financial institutions, and markets. The key features of economic institution include property rights, contract, and regulation to ensure fair and efficient transactions. So if the economy does this for us, the economy has made the environment enabling for us to do all it takes. Sorry, I don't know how I may be sounding and how we may feel at the other end. Some of us may say in Benue State at least, the economy, the Benue State is okay. But if you try and say this before the people of Daudu, you they may have different feeling from what we are having. Hello, they may
Hi,
have different, yes, they may have different feeling from what we are having. May have different feeling because so many commercial activities in their rural area have been trampled. People, a lot of social unrest sometimes in their community. So they may not even say good of this present administration because of what really transpired. But on a nutshell, we say we are doing better. So let me see if I still have another. There should be the okay. Okay, the sixth one is social welfare institution are responsible for providing support and assistance to individual and group in need. This institution includes social service, charities, and non-governmental organizations. The key feature of social welfare institution includes programs and services such as healthcare, education, and financial aid. Yes, this social welfare may even do more than this. They advertise social welfare. One time I went there, some a neighbor reported her her neighbor for humiliating a foster child that is with her, and that creates a lot of issue amongst them. They have to go to okay, that one was this agency that cares for children. It's not human rights, but those persons had to go and invite the foster parent like that. Uh, this child is doing hawking to the extent that it got to the hearing of NAPTI. It was not easy for the woman, and they later resolved that she should take her back to her parents in her hometown in Akwa Ibom. So this child will go to hawk as from 9 o'clock and come back anything late in the evening, 8 p.m. like that. And the neighbor, it did not go well with her and reported the woman because that girl is young of 12, 13 years. She's not attending any school. It's for her to go to the market every morning. And the government interceded and they had to take the girl back to her parents. So at times, even non-governmental organization can play this role of seeing children not being deprived of their fundamental human rights. It is only in our country because basic education is fundamental human right, but some persons don't have access to that. Like that girl, her parent at home did not know what she was passing through, if not for the help of their neighbor who reported her foster mother, and her attention was drawn to the way she was maltreating the girl, and she was ordered to take back the girl to her parents. So they have social institutions, so many programs that has to touch uh, like healthcare center, education, and financial aid. They help market women with money for small business. They go to immunize. So many non-governmental organizations will go to the rural area for immunization with in collaboration with government agency. They make it very even with the community because you don't just go to people's community and start uh, administering drugs to people without letting them know. So maybe you carry the community people along to help get these drugs given to people without stress. Because when you need to make explanation and clarification in some environment, you need the community people, the rural people will help you do that. So the seventh one is family institution. I believe this will be the last of the type of social institution I will take. These are fundamental social institution that plays a crucial role in socializing individuals and providing emotional and material support. This institution include nuclear and extended family, and their key features include kinship ties, roles and responsibility, and tradition. Yes, in our normal way, we know that family is the first agent of socialization. So all we have been doing in social standard started from our family. So it's the fundamental is that plays a crucial role in socializing individuals. Some persons will even tell you we don't joke with our family name. We don't joke with our family reputation. It will not be you that will come and tarnish our family name. It means that family has what it takes in the society. So whatever you are doing is built up from wherever you are coming from. In fact, I even have a friend that I don't joke with. I don't know his lineage, but he said they are from royal family. He doesn't joke with that. Nobody joke with his integrity. So that is what family institution. But on a general note, we have nuclear and extended family, and we know what a nuclear family is and what our extended family. From you have done that with my senior colleague, and we have different types of family. You know that. I believe he had gone into details of that. Hello.
Hi.
Did you people do family as institution? So
In the previous, in the
in your
previous,
yes, yes.
yes, sir.
Oh, okay, okay, that's fine. So in conclusion, let me just read through the slides. In conclusion, a social standard institution is a complex system of norms, value, and guidelines that shape and regulate individual behavior in society. The topology of social standard institutions and their constituent feature highlight the diverse role and function of this institution in maintaining social order and promoting stable order. Social order and promoting stable and harmonious society. Don't worry, I have few slides. We'll soon be done. Most of you are going out of the meeting. Yes, this is another topic with which systemic relationship between constituent units in social institution. So the relationship between constituent units in social interaction are as follows. This is the relationship, interdependence and mutual influence. This is one. The constituent units in social standard are interdependent on each other, meaning that they rely on each other for their survival and function. For example, in a family, as a social institution, the parent and the children are interdependent on each other. Yes, the children at a point in time, as they are young, their parents feeds them, pay their school fees, clothe them, and even as children, they help do some little domestic work. The parents send them. They need the children to keep them company like that. So they are interdependent and mutually influence. So the children see their parents as role model, and we want to imbibe from the culture of the parents, and the parents will now uh, transmit or transfer this cultural value and what is obtainable in the society to the children. And they want to make sure that their children are responsible people in the society. That's what our parents will always want us to be. So, as even as children in the family, we are dependent on each other and mutually. That's the first point. Cooperation and coordination. Yes. Cooperation is this is one of how they are related systematically. In social institutions, the constituent units work together in a coordinated manner to achieve goals and objectives. To achieve goals, they work in a coordinated manner to achieve goal and objective. For instance, in a school, as a social institution, that is school as a social institution, teacher, students, and administrative staff work in coordination to provide education to the students. Yes, as a teacher, you go to the class to teach. The student listens to you to learn from you. Administrative staff, the that's where the teacher will go get his marker. That's where some of the administrative staff, that's where students go pay their school fees, do their registration, get their uniform, get their school bag. Collectively, they work together to see the school achieve what it intends to achieve, to provide education to the student. Yes, each unit has a specific role to play, and their cooperation and coordination are essential for the smooth functioning of the school. Administrative office have its role. Teacher at their own ambit, they have their own role, and the students have their own role to learn. So all these are coordinated, and with their cooperation, they make the running of the school very smooth. If not, it will not be easy to run. That you are a teacher, you do this, you collect school fees, you children, the children are not feeling fine, you are doing that, taking care of them. No, all these units are coordinated so that it makes running of the school very easy. It makes running of the school very, very easy. And if one of the unit is not functioning well, it brings about inefficiency in all the system. Your student don't come to class on time, they make noise, you don't call them to order. Your teacher don't teach the way the teachers is ought to have taught the student, is affecting the student and affecting the name of the school. Administratively, no entrepreneur or no proprietor will want to take that from you. And even if it is government school and your report gets to the Ministry of Education, your attention will be called upon. Why don't you come to work on time? Why don't you teach based on what we have on the curriculum, as the case may be? And why are students failing your course? That is even with your headmistress or your principal, as the case may be in secondary school, that students don't understand your subject if they have complaint about your subject. So with this coordination, it makes smooth operation in school. The another point is division of labor and specialization. Yes, this is another systematic relationship about the constituent unit of social social standards institution, division of labor and specialization. In most social institutions, the constituent units have specific roles and responsibility. With that, already is called division of labor. If every unit has what it does, making her different from the other unit, it becomes what division of labor. The specific roles and response. The division of labor allows each unit to specialize in their designated area, leading to greater efficiency and productivity. Let's even say, as a school teacher, you have your subject that you teach. Yes, most especially in secondary school. It's only in primary school that one person can teach up to three, four, five subjects. I don't really know what is obtainable in primary school now, but I believe that in primary school one can teach up to three, four, five subjects. But in secondary school, that is not allowed unless few private secondary school that you can take more than one subject, which may not even uh, which one cannot give their efficiency, will not be efficient in what he is doing, because you cannot be teaching JSS1 social studies and you are teaching SS1 another different thing. It will not make you concentrate. It will not make you concentrate. But people do have it like that. People do have it like that.
Hello, sir. No audio. I can't hear you.
So division in most social standard, the constituent units have specific roles and responsibilities. The division of labor allows each unit to specialize in their designated area, leading to greater efficiency and productivity. So everybody, if you do what you are supposed to do, at least you perfect your skills in that. For example, in hospitals, doctors, nurses, and support staff have different roles, but they all work together to provide quality care to patients. This division of labor and specialization is crucial for the effective functioning of institution. So, as health as an institution, for example, that I just made mention, we know the leading staff there. It should be the medical doctor, but without the nurses, the doctors can't do everything. Even the support staff too, they have their role they play. Some of them clean the hospital, some of them do so many a lot of uh, work in the hospital. You can't expect that somebody is sick, is coming to hospital, expecting a medical doctor to go and carry the person from wheelchair. No, it's not done that way. So, this is division of labor. They have so many units in the hospital. You have some persons in the is it bursary or cash section? You go there, you pay money, you go to this unit, you do that. That is all the coordinated activities that will result to a greater efficiency and productivity. That is what division of labor is talking about, that you are a medical doctor, you are collecting money, pay this, do receive this person is theater, you are there, they are bringing. No, it's not done that way. So you need to have a great division of labor. And even in the hospital, the doctors amongst themselves, they have specialists. This person is this one is this one is this. You can't expect a dentist to be looking at what a surgeon or a gynecologist is supposed to do. So even in the hospital, amongst the medical doctors, they have their area of specialization. So that is division of labor. Uh, this is not jack of all trade and master of none. No, no. It brings about division of labor and specialization. Hello, somebody said he was not getting me. Are you with me now, Jafet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Another point is hierarchy and power dynamics. Hierarchy and power dynamics. Sorry, this slide is a little bit small, but maybe I will just read what I have on my slide. Our time is gradually winding up. Hierarchy and power dynamics. Social institutions often have a hierarchy structure where some units have more power and authority than others. For example, in a government, as a social institution, the president holds the most power, followed by the cabinet members, then the parliament members, and so on. The power dynamics. The power dynamics that can also exist within smaller social institutions such as family where the parents have more authority than the yes, social institution. Let's say the government as an institution in Nigeria, the most hierarchical, the number one citizen is called who? The president. In female, they say the first lady, like that, followed by who? The vice president. So in power, it will have hierarchy and power dynamics in social institution, as in their systematic relationship. In government as institution, the president holds the most power, followed by his vice president, senate, and as the case may be. Even to our family, family, I believe the father is supposed to be the head of the family, apart from a few that the mothers will always want to be the head of the family, but it is assumed that father that is the head of the family. There is in some family is the breadwinner that is the head of the family. Is that not? If your mother is the breadwinner, or if it is your brother that is the or if you are the breadwinner, you are the head of the family. So, so that is how uh, hierarchy and power dynamics also have a systemic relationship in a social standard and social institution. So this should be our last slide. Socialization and transmission of cultural value. Let me see. Okay. Yes. This is another point. Socialization and transmission of cultural value. Social institutions play a vital role in socializing individuals, transmitting cultural value that has been said in some of the slides. For example, in a religious institution, the leaders and the member of the faith socialize children and newcomers into the belief and practice of religion. This process of socialization and cultural transmission helps to maintain the stability of uh, and continuity of social institutions. So this is our last slide. Sorry for what we had the first time. I will find my time tomorrow to see I still go through that slide, but very, very fast. I'll be very fast because we don't have much time. Uh, the network did not allow us to do much, but I will try and see how I reciprocate in that gesture and uh, and see what we can do tomorrow. So this is what we can take for today. Tomorrow, by His grace, we try as much as possible to see how we cover what we are supposed to cover tomorrow and go through what we have uh, today. Yesterday we missed out that class. Maybe during our revision week, that's when we'll try and wrap up. Thank you for your patience, especially those persons who are in attendance. The size of your class is supposed to be 17 or 18. At no time that I have up to 10. The highest I had was just 5. Some persons just entered and registered their presence and still uh, leave the class. But notwithstanding, tomorrow we'll continue from where we stop. I appreciate your gesture for waiting patiently to the end of the class. Please, if you have one or two questions from your own end, please you can post it so that we can share amongst ourselves. Thank you. I'm waiting for your questions and your response, or if you have any contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
No question.
Yeah,
Sorry. No. Yes.
my question.
Yes,
I
sir.
we are My question is, we are talking about social standard. Yeah, social the course content covers social institution. So
Yeah.
we're talking about uh, government, the government or economy providing jobs, providing. What I want to hinge on is on education. I
Yeah.
learned that in the area of education, even if we have not met that standard, the government on her part is doing committing resources. The instance here is this: we have a situation where some persons are trained through third form, and when they go over there, on seeing that standard of life there, instead of coming here to improve or returning to improve on what they left on ground, they stick to where they are trained. They refuse to come back. So the these people, I see them being unjust to the government and the country entirely, because government has discovered inadequacy on the side of our educational institution. So they train them to where there's a standard. So as when they come, they transmit that standard to our educational sector. And when they go there, they see the life there better off this. With this not necessitate government to stop funding. So you see people doing what they think when considering themselves above the interest of the state and the interest of their sponsor. It will,
Thank you. Sorry, I am short. Make your submission.
yes, my submission is I see that government is making effort on the
Yes,
side of,
yes, just round up your submission. I
yes.
agree with what you said, and I want
So
to respond. Just round up. Yes.
yes, that is where I'm rounding up. So my
Mm.
question is this: their stay over there, is it doing us good or harm to our education sector?
Thank you to have posed a logical question. This question may even come out in your exam, but maybe not exactly like this. It's a very, very interesting and a question that requires one to reason very well. Uh, this Japa syndrome that has eaten Nigeria deeply. On a nutshell, the government is doing her best, but maybe her best may not be enough. That is on a nutshell. That is why we keep on preaching that government do this to your citizen, do this to your citizen, so that what other people are enjoying in another part of the world, let us to have it here, even though if not exactly the same, it should come close to their own, so that you don't need to be living here and go to another place. Government have deemed it fit that, okay, I have an employee, let me train them on the way the other people have their own education. Yeah, if that person goes there and come back, he should come and impart what he or she have learned from wherever he or she goes to learn. But on the other hand, the person goes there, maybe from what he sees or she sees there, the person is refusing to come back. Good. You made your claim is coming from government sponsoring people to outside. They used to give them bond form to fill, but because Nigeria is not serious about anything and is lackadaisical about all these things, you fill a bound form that I don't really know. I've not filled that form, but you will be on oath, or you fill a bound form that this is maybe for 3 years you'll be in study and government is taking care that even though if you are done with your studies, you you ought to have come back and serve the institution that trained you for so number of years before you can leave. That bound is there. But somebody is raising up his hand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Let me make my submission. You will talk.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So, um, government, the people will travel and will not come back, and no any follow up about that. Do you know government where the school you have, maybe the school where they trained you. Government have every details of that school, and government, if government want to stop your salary, government will do that. If government wants you to leave, because I've seen an HOD who threatened his staff that if the person did not come back, he will have to write to that place. People now look at that HOD as a very wicked person. Is this his money? This, that. But he is the person that consented him to go to that. You understand? These people have disappointed Nigeria or disappointed any institution who sponsor their education. So that is another factor. But I don't want to believe that people will say if you go there, your life have changed. Yes, I don't want to believe that if you have gone, you have made it in life. I've seen so many persons there that I don't really know that maybe it's just the environment that is making them to be there. That here, if you come, this, that. But the people have not done Nigerian well, or any institution that have trained you, either private, either the government, who will sponsor you for education, and you go and you not come back. And if your head or the authority start chasing you, people will say these people are wicked. But if the right thing is done, people will not do that nonsense. The highest the person have, one, if you go to court, they will win you because you have signed a bond to that. So that is my take for that. Grace, Grace,
Okay,
yes,
sir. Thank you
you
so
have the
much
floor. Yeah.
for that response to the question. I
No,
learned from it. So, sir, I wanted to ask that we get the material. Maybe if you can help us to
no, the
send
material
it
definitely after my
immediately.
lectures, I will send the materials to
Okay,
you.
so that we can start reading ahead of time.
No problem. And my
Thank
lectures,
you.
I don't know if I finish tomorrow. If I don't, you make out time. We'll get to one. Maybe during the revision week, we'll wrap it up. Then I will give you the material before revision week so that you can read your own. If we are done tomorrow, I will give you the material. But revision week, I'll need to go through those slides and other things that I have not touched that I feel is important in this course. We'll look at it. Yes,
Okay,
Grace,
sir.
your
Thank you
hand
so
is
much, sir.
okay.
No, I'm dropping my hand. Thank you so much, sir. It will go a long way
So
to us.
thank you
Thank
to be a wonderful participant. I must confess that at least I appreciate your efforts. So let's converge by 10 tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.